Hi, I'm Bella Sangiorgi. I'm a junior here at Sacred Heart University, and earlier this week, I was joined by Sarah Klaum. Sarah is currently a Community Relations Associate at a nonprofit company called ACLD. But before she got here, Sarah earned her bachelor's degree in media arts and a minor in theater arts, as well as her master's in communications. All of that from Sacred Heart University. It's such an honor to be in contact with someone who has been down such a similar path that I'm currently on right now. Here's what Sarah had to say about her career thus far. Hi, Sarah. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Bella. Thank you for that intro. That was got me a little goosebumps. It was nice.
Oh, no, it's a pleasure to, be here doing this with you. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Okay, so first question. You work for ACLD. From what I've read, it sounds like a great organization. Can you just explain a little bit more of what it is your company does and how you guys provide services for those in need?
Absolutely. So ACLD is Adults and Children with Learning and Developmental Disabilities. It's a not-for-profit organization on Long Island. So we support people with learning, developmental disabilities, as well as autism here on the island. We serve people from ages 3 to 21 plus, meaning that we have children's care, we have residential, we've got day habilitation, occupational and physical therapy, medical assistance, respite, vocational services, early childhood education, and residential, with over 40 group homes on Long Island, as well as 40 independent living apartments for those people that we support here.
ACLD sounds like a wonderful company. After hearing more about what it is they do, I was curious to know what Sarah does as a community relations associate.
Yeah, so the job is really twofold. So I'm very heavily involved with getting in touch with our local community. I reach out to the schools and other organizations that could be looking to volunteer and support our organization. And then the other part of the position is more of a communications based. So I am doing a lot of writing, press releases, marketing material. We have 2 publications here at ACLD that we put out each year. Each of them has 2 editions, so that's 4 in total. I'm working on our Enviable Life News Journal, which is a publication that we put out that tells the stories of our organization, the little pieces that make us who we are. I'm working on that right now, and I'm actually spearheading it, which is a little scary because I'm so new. But what I'm doing with it is very similar to what I did at Sacred Heart when I was producing The Pulse in grad school. So I feel very comfortable in what I'm doing.
It's great to hear how Sacred Heart really prepared Sarah for the job that she has now. This also made me wonder, when she was a student, did she see herself working for a nonprofit? And if not, how did this opportunity come her way?
So I don't have a professional background in nonprofit, but I do have a personal background. My dad's youngest sister had Down syndrome, and she actually lived in a group home very similar to the homes that we have here at ACLD for 31 years. So it's a different organization, but an organization that's very similar. So this world was not something foreign to me. I spent a huge part of my childhood at group homes, at these events. So last year with COVID, at my previous position, everybody at my level had gotten laid off. It was a lot. It was really overwhelming. It was emotionally draining. And again, because I wasn't feeling fulfilled, my heart wasn't in it. And in that time during the lockdown, we of course weren't able to go visit my aunt and her housemates at the time because of the pandemic. And unfortunately, in November of 2020, she was diagnosed with a really strong form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and she passed within about 5 weeks.
I'm so sorry to hear that.
Thank you. And for me, I was like, okay, now that this is happening, and it really hit me hard, I was like, I need to do something good. I need to do something that makes me feel good and does good for other people. In May, they did a memorial service for my aunt at the house that she lived in. And so I was at this event for my aunt, and I was watching these people that worked with her, the direct support professionals, or DSPs as they're called in my industry, who worked with my aunt for over 20 years, talking about her as if they were talking about their own family member. And then I was listening to the people that lived with her, also with special needs, sharing poems and memories about my aunt. And it was just the most moving, most beautiful thing. And that night when I got home, I opened up Indeed and I found this job.
Something that personally intrigued me about Sarah was her background in theater arts. I had asked Sarah how being a performer had affected her education in media arts and her career up to this point.
Yeah, 100% my background in performing affects every single part of my job performance over the last, however many years I've been in the field. I had the background of being in front of the camera. I knew I could tell stories on a stage or in front of a camera. I had no clue going into Sacred Heart, and Sacred Heart really formed me and helped me find my voice behind the camera. There are other fields out there that are very, formula based. You learn how to do it and there's no other way to do it. It's A, B equals C. In media, it's so cool to watch people create content and see how their lives and their backgrounds kind of pour into those things. And I think that's what really makes this industry so special and so versatile.
The last thing that I asked Sarah was for some advice for students who would graduate from Sacred Heart with a degree in media arts.
Yeah, well, first off, aside from media, take all of the time to enjoy every single part of Sacred Heart.
Yes.
I cherish those memories to this day. I have friends that I'll have for the rest of my life because of Sacred Heart. So that's just, that part of it. But talking about career, a big thing that I think will be helpful going into the media field is to have an open mind. You very well may be working on content that you don't necessarily agree with, that you're not necessarily comfortable with. That's part of the job of being in media, specifically when you're talking about like journalism and things like that. But more importantly, keep an open mind about where your career can go, because you never know when you're going to stumble upon the position that you never thought of that could change everything. And don't take yourself so seriously. That's a big one for me. I was my biggest critic around your age, and I was so hard on myself. And if I hadn't taken myself so seriously, some of the bumps that I went through may not have happened.
I'd like to say thank you to Sarah and everyone at ACLD for all of the incredible work that they're doing. It was a pleasure talking to Sarah, and she gave me so much insight into what the future may hold. I'm Isabella Sangiorgi, and thanks for watching my alumni project.